All right, guys, welcome to the Ringside Podcast. I'm Daniel Spencer.
I'm Jeremy Water.
And I'm Linda Kay.
All right. So, look, guys, we are excited to be here on the show. We just tried to do this a minute ago, but apparently our streaming service messed up and we wasn't live on everything. So I'm checking before we go any further. I want to make sure we're live on every app platform.
We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook.
All right, we're live everywhere now, guys. Okay, so apologize for the delay. For those of you that are watching for a couple minutes, we were live for like probably 5 minutes on just Twitter, I think, and YouTube. It wasn't live on Facebook or Twitch, so I don't know what happened. But we are live everywhere now, and I appreciate that. Guys, real quick, shout out to Eric Cornish. He couldn't be with us tonight because he had some other things going on. It's kind of a late night anyways, and I think he usually kind of sleeps this night, but he did send us a video in for us to play. We're going to talk about that. Also, though, I want real quick, I want to give a shout out to everyone who reached out in prayers and thoughts and all that on social media. I had a family emergency. My father had surgery yesterday, so that was the reason why we didn't do this show. So I thank you for letting us reschedule and all that. My co-host here, I was willing to let them go ahead without me, but the cool people they are and the great people they are, they were like, no. Be with your family, do your thing, and then we'll reschedule and we kind of last minute reschedule tonight, and it just worked out for all of us. So I kind of like this 10 o'clock thing. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. So we'll have to revisit this down the road. We'll see.
It's past Eric's
anyway,
time. I don't know if it'll work for him.
Well, I know. That's the thing. It might be an Eric problem on that for sure. Clint says hello, everyone. Hello, Clint. Courtney says hello, Daniel. Hello, but you can also say hello to Linda and Eric or Jeremy as well. Those, by the way, if you're watching, please share, retweet, repost, whatever you got to do. We appreciate that to help us support this page, but also get the show out there. We do have some stuff to talk about. We have some. I mean, obviously, this show is titled "The Cult of CM Punk," so we're going to spend a lot of time on CM Punk, right? So we're going to get to that. But there's a lot of things that's been happening in wrestling in the world. And, we just had Thanksgiving Thunder last week at OVW on last Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a new OVW National Heavyweight Champion. It is the one and only, the Overman, EC3. Yes, that's right. He's also the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And he's been rocking the belts already. I just saw him at WrestleCade this past weekend in North Carolina, and he was walking around everywhere in his booth with rocking both belts. So he's a champ, man. He's a champ. We'll see if Jesse Goddard can get it back or what's in store for Jesse Goddard. We don't know. Well, he's got Shane Mercer coming up tomorrow night on OVW. We know that, but that's been advertised. But what else is going on? I don't know. Linda, what's your thought on Thanksgiving Thunder? You were there.
Yes, and you were there too. We got to be a part of this historic moment. Once again, for those who didn't see it, we just told you the outcome there as far as that title match. Thrilled to have gotten to announce that one. And this match between EC3 and Jesse Goddard's tremendous, physical. It was in the making. And again, if you did not see it, whether live or not through various avenues, which we'll get to a little bit more here, you can always go back and watch it. Remember, this was a TV special that was available to see, of course, on Fight TV, throughout stations throughout Kentucky, as well as the recent editions or applications, if you will, where you can catch OVW live on our normal Thursday nights, and that would be via OVW's YouTube channel, as well as now on OVW's Facebook page. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. Again, various ways. The place was packed. The energy was there. It was tremendous. And again, do not miss out, because every Thursday night and upcoming specials, which of course we'll get into as far as our next special as well. But again, it was truly magical.
It was. And yes, and it is available on Fight TV, but you can also watch it right now. If you go, you can make it an event and like it and share it and say you're going. But on Facebook, it's we're going to be OVW is going to be streaming live on Facebook, live on YouTube. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're trying X Twitter tomorrow as well. So a lot of cool things are happening, and still on Fight TV. So a lot of things are happening. There's some big things coming up for OVW. That's all I can really say. That I know that we made a big announcement about going, and let's talk about that. We made an announcement about Christmas Chaos was going to go to Sluggerfield. That was the big announcement we had from OVW a couple weeks ago. It was what our episode was about. However, unfortunately, due to scheduling conflicts and things like that, the Christmas Chaos had to be moved back to the Davis Arena. That's okay. The OVW will do a show at Louisville Slugger Field sometime in 2024. Bottom line is, it's in the Davis Arena, and not only you can get tickets at ovwrestling.com, use promo code ringside and save 20% off your tickets, but you can order the pay-per-view live for, I think it's $19.99 is what the cost is right now. It's on the OVW website. It also, if you use promo code ringside, you save 20%. So if you cannot watch it live in person, you can watch it live via stream. And I believe it gives you a YouTube link so you can watch it that way. So it's not one of those like where I'm going to watch it. I believe you pay for it and it sends you a private YouTube link that only you can watch. So I believe that way. I could be wrong, but that's what I've been told. So anyways, I'm excited. I'm happy for everything going on in OVW. Jeremy, I know you haven't seen it in person, but what do you think about the new look just on TV alone?
It looks amazing. It looks big time. And really quick shout out to we're live, pal. And shout out to our guy Wes Brocky in the building as well. I saw somebody else in here, but I'm not going to acknowledge them. I'm going to do the reverse Roman Reigns and not acknowledge them. But it looks amazing. Everything looks and sounds amazing on there, and I plan for either tomorrow or the next week to be able to make my return to the Davis Arena. So very, very excited.
Nice. Well, Jeremy, you're always welcome. We love to have you there. I think the last time you were there, we made sure to get a picture of the Ringside Podcast crew. I don't even know who has that picture because I don't remember. Did we post it on the social media? We need that picture.
We do, because when you posted, or when Eric posted the one from Thanksgiving Thunder, I'm like, we took one, and you know what? It's probably on my phone, so I will own up to that. Thank you. I will make sure to pull that, and we will get that posted.
Yeah, we need that picture. It needs to be posted on the Ringside Podcast Instagram and the Facebook and all that stuff because everybody wants to see us together. They see us on the screen separately all the time, but when we get all together at one, we're a powerful force now. All right, so
I'm going to throw my hill shades on for a second, Daniel, because I found out something that disturbed me the other day.
Oh no! Okay,
what's up? That our banner no longer hangs in Davis Arena.
Who told you that?
J-Mo. He came over to watch football with me Saturday and said they took the banner down.
I was just in there today. Wait, what?
Is J-Mo mistake? J-Mo may have been just messing. Okay, I'm going to take the hill shades off. That's not – I can see y'all in my reflection. No, J-Mo said – he was like, man, I got some bad – he could have been ribbing me, though. Let's be honest. He's a big ribber. He could have been. But, no, he told me I was so sad for the rest of the day. Oh, J-Mo, you jerk. Look, he's ha-hawing in the comments over here. J-Mo.
Well, I just messaged him. I was like, I got to message him after that. I was like, what? Okay, that's good. I was like, I literally was just in the arena like 3 hours ago because I was was setting up. Look at this. We got a new whole seat chart diagram that I'm working on because we added more seats, right? So I'm like setting up where you go online, you can like look at all the seats. And I was just looking at the banner. So I was really
Teresa, you can ask my brother, you can ask Sean. He sat there and said that they took all the sponsor banners off the wall except one, and that they took our banner off too. And he J-Mo, I'm not lying. And
look, I'm gonna remind J-Mo.
You know what? Really quick, Daniel. We've not done pipe bomb in a long time, but let me interject for a second. I got this man tickets to a basketball game within the last week. I got him tickets to a football game a couple weeks ago, and I invited him into my home.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. He sent me pictures. Yeah.
And this dude's He did not say that I had to pay for it to go back up. You can ask everybody that was in the room. J-Mo, you're cut off. No more free tickets for me to you. I can't believe this dude set me up for failure like this. All right, I'll remember that.
Well, what's funny is that Jeremy, I figured you would have texted me immediately about that. I guess other things were going on that you wanted to text me about that was misinformation to you as well. But anyways, we'll not talk about that. But you texted me directly and was like, "Hey, what?" You would have said like, "Why's the banner gone?" So I'm shocked that you didn't do that. Maybe the other information that you were trying to clarify was more important. Obviously, it was. And I appreciate that. But I don't even. But I don't. I'm like, bro, you know
there
me.
There were
Like
things that were going on that day. There was a football game. There was a humongous WWE pay-per-view,
which we're going to talk about.
And there's other stuff and like some personal things that were going on as well. So, no, J-Mo, you done lost me, bro. You can't make me look stupid and get away with it. I look stupid enough without your help.
Eric, DJ Eric says, why isn't J-Mo on the show? J-Mo equals ratings. Well, I mean, J-Mo has been on the show 2 or 3 times, actually. So, I ain't
no snitch, J-Mo. Bring him on right now so we can have this face-to-face. Send him a link because I ain't no snitch.
Right. Okay. All right. Hang on. Let me send him the link. I'll send it. I got to do it on my phone because I'm
pictures of my home, like blueprints and undercover stuff. That's snitch stuff. That's what you was doing. I don't do snitch stuff.
The irony is that I was going to say that group picture of us, we were pointing at the sign, and then this came about. So,
yeah,
right. Well, that was what I was ready to talk about, the sign pointing. And all right, we need this J-Mo. I just sent it to him, so let's see if he hops on, if he can, and we'll talk. We'll deal with this important stuff here. After J-Mo hops off the show, then we'll start talking about the man of the hour. The chick magnet Punk. Is who. By the way, if you didn't know, that was what CM stands for, chick magnet. Yes, it's true. Look it up. All right, so it's I'm waiting on him to pop up. I like you got your heel shades on. I like that. That's a good thing.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Wes. I appreciate y'all's support.
No, that's not true. It's not Chicago made. It's actually chick magnet Punk. It really is. I swear. Actually, it was in the WWE documentary. It's now on the Peacock again. So go check that out and watch it. Yeah. So
love the Peacock Network.
Yeah. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm still waiting on J-Mo to pop in. He's not. You know what? He's going to try to pop in probably when we're like talking about Mr. Punk, and but or maybe he's like doing something that he shouldn't be doing. Yes, Pepsi Phil. I know what your thought of when I said Pepsi Phil. We'll just keep that between us. All right. Daniel knew CM Punk was coming to Survivor Series. I'm not going to confirm or deny that. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. J-Mo, Jesse Morris.
What's going on?
Well,
So what? He had asked me about the banner, and I said, "What are you talking about? We took all the banners down. There's no banners left. You gotta pay for sponsorship at OVW now." That's what I said.
Well, first of
all, I thought for sure he would have messaged you right away and asked you about it.
I ain't no snitch.
First of all, you see what's reading on the top? The official podcast of OVW. We are the podcast of OVW, and when that banner was moved, it was actually moved up, and right when it was being moved, it was actually being taken down, and it was told to the new owners at the time of OVW, Matt Jones and some of the people you see on they go, "Oh wait, that's Daniel's podcast." At the time, they just said my name, it's the official podcast of us. Oh, that's got to stay up. And they moved it to the other wall. So I'm not saying that I have that kind of power. It just shows that they knew that it wasn't just some rinky-dink podcast. They were like, oh, that's an important podcast. And it's stayed up ever since. And then I was told recently by somebody that's a very important person in the company, that podcast, that banner can go anywhere I want it to go. Where do I want it to go? And I said, oh, it's fine right there. I like it where it's at, actually. They go, okay, because I said everybody that sits on that side and watching the show sees that. Yes, it's not on the screen, but it does make the screen, and it did make Netflix. But everybody in the crowd,
J-Mo, I'm so disappointed in you, bro.
So
You could have sparked me up after the fact, dude.
Honestly, I completely forgot about it. I completely forgot about it.
There's some real Ryan Mosley or Mosley type stuff that he's trying to get. Look,
now if the Cardinals would have won, things would have went a little differently. I'd probably hung around and watched Survivor Series, but I was a little pissed that the Cardinals lost.
Now, why did you have to bring that up? We were doing good. We were doing fine, and you had to bring up the loss of the football team.
I'm just trying to explain why I forgot to even. I completely forgot about that conversation. That was like in the first quarter of the game.
I just want to point out that I just said Ryan's name, and now more people know who he is off of me saying it one time than anybody combined in history knows his name or his podcast or anything.
Courtney asked a question. She says, why has CM Punk never done an OVW show? Actually, Courtney,
yes,
CM Punk was when he was in developmental for WWE, when he got signed, he was in OVW for was it like 9 months?
Yeah, it was a while.
6 months or 9 months. So he was, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I know my history. I think he's a former OVW heavyweight champion.
He's at least a former television. He carried the television.
He was the television champion.
He never had the.
I don't know for sure, but I don't believe so. I think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Gosh, who was it, J-Mo? It was him. Him, Mr. Kennedy, maybe, and one other guy that was swapping it around for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, I knew he only held a title, but yes, he was at OVW. So being the official podcast of OVW, we can always talk about CM Punk, Chick Magnet Punk.
I'm gonna, you know what? Unlike another Man Mountain Rock looking dude that's in the chat line over here, I choose to forgive you, and you're back on my good side.
Thank you. Well, and I was getting ready to give you a shout out anyway, because I've told you personally, much love for you, because yes, you did give me tickets to the Notre Dame football game, which I'll forever be grateful for. And you did happen to know somebody who had tickets, and because they're friends with you, I happened to see the post, and they did hook me up with tickets to the basketball game Sunday. So I do appreciate it.
Shout out to my boy Bogsy Time. He's actually, speaking of somebody who's gave away tickets. He's hooked me up with some cool tickets over the years. David Boggs. So shout out to Bogsy Time. Thanks for joining and hopping in and hanging out for a little bit, or the whole show if you want. Say why not? But yeah. So
I don't think I've ever drove to the Yum Center faster though, because literally I found out 10 minutes before tip that I was getting tickets, and I got to the game like 3 minutes after tip off. So.
Yeah, well,
so
Jeremy had
something. Listen, Dave, I'm trying to figure something out because I've been going between Hill and regular Jeremy for about the last 2 hours. I'm trying to figure out how to handle a certain situation because there's somebody over here in the chat line that's just begging for my acknowledgement and me to talk to them. So do I take the high road and ignore them like they deserve to be ignored, or do I just rip them to shreds?
Well, here's what you do. There was a guy that one time he came back into the back in the world of wrestling, and he ripped the shreds to the old company that he used to work for, somebody. And sure enough, that now when he was in this company, back to the company, he just cut a promo on what he did. He didn't talk about the other company at all. He ignored them, which is actually worse. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'll say one thing, and then I will continue to ignore. The only reason any of us know who said person is because they spam our Facebook Messenger all the time with "Please listen to me, post," and I'll leave it at that.
Chris here says you have a special guest watching with me too on FaceTime, all for Daniel Spencer. I don't know who that is. I kind of have an idea, but I don't. But actually,
another Mr. Delicious fan, huh?
Yeah, there's a few Mr. Delicious fans around there, But But guys, look, we JMO, thanks for coming on and setting the record straight. We appreciate that. If you want to stick around and talk some CM Punk, you can. But we just wanted to kind of get to the bottom of this. Is all we wanted to do. But
it was just a rib. That's all. No harm intended.
And what was funny was it was a rib, and you let the rib go all the way. It's like 5 days, right?
Like I said, I completely forgot about it. But literally, I thought for sure he knew I was joking because I did say that he was going to have to pay for it to go back up. So I thought for sure.
I was probably too mad from throwing something from a poor play that happened. I did not hear that last part. But as soon as he said no, I was like, JMO ribbed me. He got me. That doesn't happen very often. So kudos to you. Shout out to you, and love you, my dude.
Love you too, but partially your fault though, because you've been kayfabing and not coming to the show, so it's partially your fault. If you'd have been there last week, you'd have known your beta was up, and I wouldn't have been an issue. See?
Well, I'll tell my mom to stop getting sick. How about that?
Ooh,
see, now you got to go heal on me. Damn.
Yeah, that's how it works.
She's been fine. I've been having some issues. She hasn't been, but yeah. I thought if I threw the mom thing in there, you'd feel bad and be like, "Oh."
I did. That hurt. I really did. I felt bad.
By the way, speaking of moms, JMO, tell hi to your mom for me.
Got you.
And your
Absolutely.
wife. Yeah.
And my wife. Yes.
Are you saying you have 2 words for him? I don't know. I don't know where you're going with this.
Just make sure you lock the door. Just make sure you lock the door when you leave, Daniel. That's all I care about.
I usually take care of that when I leave. Yeah, I usually take care of that. So, all right, yeah, go Cards all day. I'm sorry, Linda's over here. Like, you're a Packer fan, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So that's, I don't know what college team she roots for.
Badgers.
But that's all. Oh, Badgers. Okay, all right. She's a Badgers fan, which by the way, thank you to the Badgers because they are the one in the 39-1 who beat the mighty Kentucky Wildcats when they were going 40-0, and they didn't get the 40-0. They went 39-1. So, or 38-1, or whatever it was. I don't remember. They lost, and they lost the championship and everything. I believe it was 39-1. I believe it was a championship game, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So they gave us our shining light this year at the running back position, Isaac Guerrero. He's a Wisconsin Badger. So shout out.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, he came. So shout out the whole state of Wisconsin.
I'll be in Wisconsin this weekend. So I love Wisconsin.
Yes.
Wait a minute. What about Valentine doing a great job with the Packers? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I guess. Well, here's the thing. I obviously don't miss a Packer game, so I see how well he's doing, or just the uphill climb, if you will, right now, the Packers. But
yeah,
they're not the Brett Favre Packers, but they're okay.
Oh, that was my favorite era. Thanks, JMO. But yes, they're getting better, right? I have high hopes.
Yeah. Hey, I liked Aaron Rodgers Packers. I wouldn't have hated them. But yeah, the Packers. Look, they're great. Badgers great. I love Wisconsin. I'll be there this weekend. I gotta love Wisconsin, right? Blizzard Brawl. Let's talk about that real quick. Blizzard Brawl this weekend from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Make sure at the Waukesha Expo Center. It's going to be some amazing show. You'll see the lovely Lily Kay there. You'll see referee Daniel Spencer. Hey, you may even see JMO there doing something.
You will.
Around.
Yeah.
We just need to get Jeremy there, and then Eric will be there, I believe. So we get Jeremy there, and we can have this whole Ringside podcast live in person.
Live at Ringside.
Who won't be there? Ryan Mosley.
Mosley will not be there.
That's the last time I'll say that name. That made me.
I don't know. Maybe Ryan can.
Ryan Mosley would not be. Ron Mosley would not be there. No, Ron Mosley would not be there. Not at all.
Hey, but if he does come, we can just let him fill Jeremy's seat, and we'll do the Ringside podcast live.
I'm gonna need you to kick him out of this. That's it.
Well, I will say this. I got information sent to me that there's a #1 fan of Ron's show, so I'm wondering if it's Jeremy.
Probably is.
Fan. So that's
no, it's probably somebody. He probably lives in his mom's basement, so it's probably her. I don't know.
Shira will also be at Blizzard Brawl as well. Yes, Chris.
Yes,
Shira
Chris.
will be at Blizzard Brawl as well.
Yes, that was just announced earlier today, and Just to stay up to date on all Blizzard Brawl info, you could go to the GLCW Facebook page and all socials. Dave Hero, who we just had recently on the show, great job at keeping us all updated about all things Blizzard Brawl. And yes, you can still get the few remaining tickets left. Last I saw, and that was just a couple of hours ago, I believe it was just only 38 general admission tickets left. I believe.
Yeah,
that's what I saw.
Yeah,
but yes, it sells out every year. So you guys,
not very many.
I'll throw it up at the top there. Let it go. Get tickets at blizzardbrawl.com. There's a little bit left. It's going to eventually be on the Premier Streaming Network, but it's not going to air live. You want to see it live, you got to be in person. It's a nice little 6.5 hour drive from Louisville and wherever you're at. And you're in Indianapolis, Chicago. If you're in Chicago, it's just an hour drive. Like, go check it out. It's great. Great wrestling. Great stars. I mean, pretty cool stuff for sure. So yeah, there we go. All right, J-Mo, you gonna stick around or are you gonna?
No, I'm out, guys. Y'all have a good night.
All right, we're gonna say hi to your mom for me. All right,
I will do. Bye.
Hey, J-Mo.
Later.
All right, so there we go. Thanks for J-Mo for popping in on that. I appreciate that and setting the record straight. But guys, we got to talk about something that shook the wrestling world. It was a big deal. A big deal. But before we do that, you know how it is. We've got to give a shout out to our sponsors, and we can't. We can't go on this show. I'm sorry, we can't do this show without them because they help support. They help pay the bills. So let's talk about our first one, and that is Collar and Elbow. That's right. When you go to collarandelbowbrand.com, use promo code Ringside, all capital letters, you save 10% and you help the Ringside podcast out. It's the best wrestler apparel there is today, Collar and Elbow. I just got some great new Collar and Elbow merch at the Collar and Elbow booth at WrestleCade. So if you came by there, you probably got it, but you probably wasn't able to save 10%. But you can order right now at collarandelbowbrand.com and use that promo code Ringside. Save 10%. Get that best Christmas gift for that wrestling fan in your life. Collar and Elbow.
And to make sure you are covered anytime, anywhere, make sure to go to ProWrestlingInsurance.com. Speak with our great friend Chris. Let him fill you in a little bit more about how you can get paid if you get hurt. That's right. This affordable supplemental coverage as low as $8 a month, you guys. This will help ensure you get a check written out to you if you get hurt. This basically covers what regular health insurance does not. It is affordable. You can use it for yourself or, for your family because it is called ProWrestlingInsurance.com, but it is coverage for everybody. We have a link in our show notes, so I'll take you directly where you need to go. But if you don't have access to that link, again, just go to ProWrestlingInsurance.com. Speak with our friend Chris. He'll fill you in about how you get coverage for yourself or for live events, and let him know we sent you.
Shout out to our good friends at CapGo Championship Belts. Christmas is coming up, and the wrestling fan in your life deserves a quality piece of wrestling memorabilia. The Santa Jeremy have just a treat for you. Get your dream belt made, contact our guy Abdul, and he will set you up immediately. It's easy. Join the Facebook group CapGo Championship Belts. Tell them the current title you want, or even design your own. CapGo Championship Belts are made with high quality and great customer services provided. Just send a message to start your consultation today. CapGo Championship Belts. Get your dream title today. And mention Ringside for 15% off your total order. Even Ryan can get that deal.
All right, guys. We appreciate that. Well, before we finish up, we'll shout out. We got a couple more sponsors to shout out, and we'll do that as well. So, all right, guys. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about some. We just got to talk about it. We got to bring it up. We can pull the Cody Rhodes. What do they really want to talk about? We know what you want to talk about. That's why you came to watch the show tonight. And yes, it's been talked about on all other podcasts, all other things, all week. All social media, all dirt sheets, whatever. But it was a pretty freaking big deal. Yes, you had Survivor Series War Games. First of all, War Games was amazing. I thought the entire pay-per-view was good from top to bottom. There was some decent, good matches overall. The War Games match itself was great, and all that. But that wasn't that. Everyone remembers what? What is the key that Al Snow's taught us? What is the key that they, no matter what happens, you always remember the what? The finish. I'll give it to you. The finish. You always remember the finish.
I haven't heard him say that.
Yes, he's man. Have you not listened to an Al Snow conversation? I'm just playing. But we love Al Snow. But it's like literally, you always remember the finish, and the finish of War Games. When you think the show was over, put up the graphic, the copyright graphic, everything to zoom out, and all of a sudden, you hear the music, and it plays, and next thing you know, Cult of Personality starts going, and the graphic CM Punk goes on the screen, and guys, I was like shocked. I was like, what in the world? What is going on? Did this really just freaking happen? I think the tweet out that I tweeted, I think I even tweeted it from ringside. Holy freaking cow. That was the response. I think I had some other words in a private chat, but that's what I publicly said. Guys, let's talk about it. Who wants to go first? I guess we can go ladies first and let Linda you take it up, Wade, because you might have a little more insight on it if you want to share that, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was there, so I got to experience this. Wow. Yes. I honestly was not expecting this. We already know of the huge return of Randy Orton that was going to take place. We had this surprise return of R-Truth. I think Eric Montgomery mentioned that as well. That was a huge moment for me as well. Love R-Truth. And like you said, I mean, it looked like the show was done. People are already leaving a little bit. Oh, no. Before you know it, you hear the static, you hear the music, you see the graphics. I mean, jaws dropping. Mine was. I mean, I was just looking around, everyone around me like, is this happening? What a moment. And just watching, waiting for CM Punk to walk out. That happened. Him getting that stare, just looking through the arena, going up to fans. It's clobbering time. And a good friend of mine actually had seats right at the entrance, and he sent me some of the pictures that he had, and I was just amazed. Like, this is happening, like, really right in front of you, right there. That's amazing. Truly crazy moment, unforgettable. Just speaking with everybody again, I was just in shock. And that Chicago crowd, man, of course, we're happy to see CM Punk there. And that was a huge moment to be at. Definitely one of the biggest moments ever. As we heard from Raw, I mean, all the views, 71 million plus views on all socials and just everything else. It was a wild night, and it took me about an hour to get out of there. And the Allstate, and I blame CM Punk because I saw the footage of him signing the autographs there. So, all right, CM Punk, thanks for getting me delayed.
Yeah, I'm curious how this works, and I don't know if Jeremy, you've been in a recent pay-per-view when this happens or not. I can't remember, but do they play the press conference on the screen, like when you're leaving?
They did it SummerSlam.
Okay.
I don't know if they did a Survivor Series because obviously I wasn't there for Survivor Series, but I want really quick. I thought that without the CM Punk return, that this was an amazing pay-per-view. The War Games matches both were top notch. You had Kyrie flying off doing her NXT garbage can spot off the top of the cage in War Games.
EO.
I'm sorry, I said the wrong. Thank you. EO doing her spot, and then there were a lot of innovative spots in the women's match, as we have come to expect. The men's match, I mean, you go from it looking like Randy's not going to be there to Rhea coming out to cash in the Money in the Bank, to Randy showing up, to everybody hitting their finishers, getting the pin. You're like, oh, man, that was awesome. I was sitting in the living room with 4 other grown men, and the pay-per-view ended, and we're like, man, that was an awesome pay-per-view. And one of them even said, these idiots are still chanting CM Punk like he's going to be here, dummies. And then his music hit, and you would have thought we were all like 13-year-old boys. The whole world was like, oh my God! We're running around.
Technically, you had a 13-year-old boy in the room with you.
Well,
yeah.
Doesn't sound right, but yeah, I mean, and then the rest of us were there too. But
It doesn't sound right. I'm sorry. I should clarify. You had one of the people in your house was 13.
That is correct. That is correct. But we all lost our stuff. No, he didn't come over that night.
Oh, was it?
No, he wasn't there. It was just
Okay.
me, Sean, my friend. What I knew I was. Look, I need y'all to stop making me question my sanity because I've got a lot going on as it is. But it was me, my brother, Sean, and then my friend Wes, and we were all running around. I was a half a second from pulling my shirt off and running around in the front yard like we had just won a national championship. Like it was nuts. And yeah, Wes, everything R-Truth does is gold. I don't expect anything less out of him. But it was an amazing pay-per-view. They had just got all the fans thinking there's no chance this is ever going to happen. And that was even kind of, the Sean Ross Sapp. He's a friend of yours, Daniel. He's somebody that I look up to. As far as
actually, you would technically look down because he's tall, but he's not as tall as you.
That's true. That's true. But he had even put out earlier in the day that, and he tried. I don't know if he knew or not. He said,
"No, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm going to give you the scoop on Sean Ross Sapp. I literally, me and somebody else, somebody very high up and important, we're standing there, and he's coming up to talk to us. So I actually was introducing Sean to this person, and we're chatting. This was like 5:00 on Saturday, and that person said, "All right, give us a scuttlebutt. Is he really coming or what?" And Sean goes, "I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm be ready. I just sent my last request asking, and my response back was our stance hasn't changed, or whatever. Like there's not. He's like normally I can tell if they quit talking to me.
Sure.
He said if they quit talking to me, then that means all right. They're not saying anything, but more than likely he's going to come. He said they were talking to me. So I think though who he was talking to though honestly still had no idea. Because I believe he would have got the info because he got the info like 1 minute before it actually happened. Because when the guy was in Gorilla is when he got the info. So I believe whoever saw him in Gorilla was like, "Holy cow!" and then let him know that, well, it's happening.
Well, he had also posted some reports either that day or the day before that, and this is something that you can say yes or no to. But he was like, there were actually talks of him joining TNA. Earlier in the week.
So we had that conversation too, and I said, I am 100% confident that he was going to be in Vegas. I was pretty sure he was going to be in Vegas. I don't know how long he would have been with TNA. I think it would have been longer than Vegas. Don't get me wrong, but I thought he was going to show up in Vegas, and Sean agreed. He was like, "I think that's going to happen too." That was our conversation, legit. And I saw Sean the next day, and Sean was like, "Bro, I had no idea." He goes, "But I found out right before it happened, so I was surprised." He goes, "I'm kind of glad I was," but he said no one. He goes, "But the people I dealt with didn't know until they knew, and then that was it."
That was the first time in a long time that I've actually genuinely been surprised. I think maybe the last time was when KO showed up at War Games a couple years ago for Team NXT. There may have been something in between those points. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Since the age of the internet, it's been few and far between. That was one of the most pleasant surprises in my recent memory. And we were all so excited. It made it feel like, all right, we've been building to a point, and we knew one of the sides was going to make a move that made it feel like, okay, we know they're battling. We know that they brought wrestling back to be fun again, but somebody's going to make a knockout blow. And it made it feel like to me that was sorry, guys, we're going to take the lead here, and we're not going to let you get any more momentum. And it was just an amazing moment. And I enjoy all wrestling, but like this thing between the two of them, like even tonight on Dynamite, they're still making WWE references when CM Punk just completely ignored them Monday night. It goes to show that one of these sides truly is the major leagues, and the other side is just playing catch up.
Yeah. Yeah. I like legit. I was completely blown away by it. I was excited though. I love CM Punk, and he's always every time I've had interactions with him, he's always been super friendly, super kind. So I don't know with all this whole like this who he is as a person and how it's going to work. Like he's been great. Like the dude drove in a car from. I know Chicago is only a 5-hour drive, but whatever. He drove to a car and was here for 4 days completely, or maybe it was 3, but whatever, for Matt Capitelli's funeral. Like he was here. He was at the funeral home every day. He was making sure Lindsay was taken care of. He was at the funeral. Like you don't have like, and he worked with Matt a little bit, but like he wasn't like tight with Matt Capitelli. He just was close. I mean, he worked with him when he was here, but he respected him.
That's
And
who it was. That's who he was. Not to interrupt you. That's who he was in a 3-way battle. It was Mr. Kennedy and Matt Capitelli. They were all.
yeah.
Sorry about that. And
No,
I see a comment from Alan. I saw a video where a dude was watching it live and said, "We don't need CM Punk," and the music hit, and he's like, "I take it back. We need this." That's a hilarious story. But yeah, I was so it made me feel like okay, the good old days of wrestling are back again.
well, my favorite thing was actually watching. And I'm so glad Raw showed them. It was pretty cool. But there was a lot more that I was getting lost on TikTok and whatever, just watching all of these reaction videos from people in the crowd recording to people like doing the live stream gimmick recording, and like it's so like I was so happy seeing people get happy about it, and and like that's so cool. And the fact that the Allstate Arena is an amazing arena. It used to be called the Rosemont Horizon. It's got acoustics like no other. It's the arena that Jericho debuted for the WWF at the time. So like the loudest pop, other than Steve Austin in that arena, was Jericho, and I think number 3 has to be the CM Punk. I mean, that pop was loud, and I've seen people where they show videos they're trying to compare the AEW pop and the WWE pop, and they're like, "Well, AEW sounds," and I think it's just the audio because they say AEW sounds more, but they were in a bigger place because United Center holds more, but the acoustics in Allstate echo so loud that I think the pop was louder in Allstate than it was in the United Center. And somebody came on Busted Open Radio and said something. They were at both of them. They were at both of the debuts, and they said, "Well, how were they?" And they said, "Well, there was a different atmosphere because it was exciting and we went nuts. And he's like, I knew CM Punk was going to be there for the AEW one. They were like, we knew, but we didn't know, but we knew, and like we were just waiting. And then when the music hits, it was like, wow, we went nuts." The other one, we had no freaking idea. There was like we were chanting his name or whatever, but it was like we all thought it's not going to happen. The show is over now, so he definitely is not happening. And then it happened, and it was like, what a surprise, that was. By the way, shout out to him. He looked amazing. He's been hitting the gym. I love the white shirt. Like he came in the black shirt on Raw, and I was like, oh man, go back to the white shirt. Like he looked jacked. He looked arrested. He looked like he was well rested. He's now working with adults, and he's ready to have some fun. So there you go. How about that? And he didn't look old either. He looked pretty young. So there you go. If you caught that line I just said to your
Yes.
Yeah.
I think even Stevie Wonder could see what you were alluding to there. And that's something, Daniel, really quick before we let Linda take the floor with this. The first thing that I said, the first thing my brother said even when he come out during Survivor Series was, oh my God, he doesn't look old. And that's something that a lot of Daniel Bryan and Edge and CM Punk, all 3 got over there and started to look older, exponentially older to me. And he looked like a spring chicken again.
He's definitely got a pep in his step, for sure. I think he's like ready to.
I'm kind of shocked by that. Are you shocked that we didn't get bitter CM Punk?
This is what I was going to segue to about what he said. at the end of Raw this week, because I know that our colleague here, Eric Cornish, had some words about that. I know he's not able to join us tonight, but is that what you're pulling up right now, Daniel?
I can. Now, let's. Why don't we do that? Why don't we go ahead and play Eric's what Eric has to say? Let's go ahead and listen to Eric.
Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be there live, but I did want to share my thoughts on one of the biggest returns that we've seen in a very, very long time. It's me and my buddy R-Truth right there. It is good to see R-Truth back in skits and all that stuff, and I would love to see him back in the ring at some point too. That would be awesome. But we're going to talk about the return of CM Punk. Yes, everybody's talking about it. Everybody was so excited when he came in. I got to tell you, I'll be the first one to say I didn't think it would happen. I didn't think we'd ever see CM Punk back in the WWE again. And I didn't think they'd even want to touch that after everything that happened in AEW. But he's back. And everybody wanted to hear. What was he going to say Monday night? What was it? I wanted to hear it. I fell asleep and had to rewind it 5 times to finally hear what he said. And I think a lot of people were disappointed in what CM Punk said. It was the most polished, cleaned up PG CM Punk, and he dropped no bombs on anybody. So why? And why? Now people are mad at that. Even AEW fans who hate WWE and hated Punk, and now they hate him because his promo wasn't what they wanted. I'm here to tell you, it's all calculated. I'm telling you right now, there's no way that Punk comes out and cuts that promo that is just so shined up and happy-go-lucky Punk without a reason. Stay tuned, y'all. Anybody especially that's mad at the cleaned-up Punk, the no-pipe bomb promo, it's only to set up a bomb in the future. The bomb is coming, y'all. Just wait. Just wait. There's a reason that we haven't seen it yet. And I just wanted to pop in here and tell you that. Guys, you share your opinion on that. But I'm telling you, there was a calculated reason that everything was so just ho-hum with his promo. It's coming. And there's a reason. What do you think?
All right. That's Eric's thought on that. I do think there was a reason, and I can go into detail on what I think the reason is, but yeah, I'll just go ahead and say it. So my reasoning, thinking, is he legally can't. That's one of the reasons. The other reason is that's the way WWE doesn't roll. They don't roll that way. Why does WWE need to talk about them?
They don't.
They don't need to. They're the number one company. They're the king for a reason. They don't want to talk. I mean, there's no reason to talk about them. And number 3, maybe it is calculated. Maybe there is a pipe bomb down the road. Maybe, we need PG Punk for a little bit until we get rated R Punk or whatever you call it. Sorry, the rated R is the other guy. But maybe so. I don't know. All I know is this. He talked about his wise man giving him very, very good advice. That wise man told him what to do. That wise man is still in WWE. That wise man is walking around with the tribal chief. That's the interesting thing I want to see. I know the Seth Rollins feud is probably coming. We'll talk about Seth Rollins in a minute, boy, how he acted and stuff. I know that's coming. But he brought up the wise man for a reason. That was what I took. That's all I got from the whole promo. Wise man, huh? Okay, I see it. I see where you're going, Punk. I see it.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought that up just because Heyman and Lesnar, right? There's that connection right there. And then all of a sudden, everything, his loyalty lies with the tribal chief. And then we have something going on between Brock and Roman. Okay, now we know really where his loyalty does lie because he is still with Roman Reigns. And it's an interesting point because obviously I did hear that and I thought that was interesting. And that was cool to hear. And also, Punk talking about Dusty Rhodes as well. And Yeah, that's really interesting because I heard that, Daniel, but I really didn't think beyond that. I was just thinking, him being back with WWE. This is how WWE is. It's a different presentation. WWE,
Right.
differentiates itself from others, and maybe that was part of the conditions of his return. We don't know, but I mean, I was still riding high from that return, and yeah, very interesting to see him on Raw. And granted, it was a different Punk that we're not used to on either product, but times have changed.
Let's not
Change people.
also forget that Roman Reigns' first storyline in WWE involved CM Punk, where they were teasing that the Shield was CM Punk's vigilantes, but they never said they worked for CM Punk, and CM Punk acted like, oh, I don't know who these people are that are helping me keep my title. So that intertwined right there. And I actually think the first shot we hear that's related to Tony Khan doesn't come from CM Punk. It comes from Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins tells him something along the lines of, we don't beat up our bosses here or scare, or, he's going to make a comment. He'll be the first person that does that. But big picture, the only time you've ever heard the words AEW uttered on programming was during the Broken Skull sessions when Stone Cold interviewed Chris Jericho when Jericho was working there, and then when Cody came in, and then there was one random time when right after they got really hot that Sami Zayn was like, "Oh, I can talk about anything I want. Y'all want to talk about AEW?" And the crowd booed, and that was it. There's a reason why, because they don't have to do that. Like you said, Daniel, they're the kings. They don't have to lower themselves down to the other teams. I wish AEW would stop doing that. I want to love AEW so bad, but every time I hear them try to pick on, and that might not be the right usage of words, but throw a shot at WWE, I'm like, yeah, y'all don't need that. Y'all need to just keep producing a great product, because everybody who's a wrestling purist like myself, every time we hear you all talk bad about WWE or even bring them up, like, why do you need to bring them up? You all, they've said they're not competition in the past because they're wrestling in WWE Sports Entertainment. Well, then stop referencing them. That's one thing you could do to help people like me out in embracing you a little bit more. But back to the point, I actually do think that the situation at All In or All Out or All In Between, whatever they name the next one, I think Seth Rollins probably referenced it, and I cannot wait for the WrestleMania double main event of Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. I think it's probably going to be the best WrestleMania in 10 years.
I mean, I could see that for sure. Look, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
It's intriguing for sure to see that. Look,
Great point. Sorry.
What point?
Alan made a really, really.
This one?
Are we going to see Heyman turn on the Tribal Chief and return to the? He was a Heyman guy before anybody else was a Heyman guy.
No, he was a Heyman guy. That was the whole, like, why I brought up the Waz man.
Yeah.
Why I was talking about that. So yes, because he's a Paul Heyman guy. You know who else was a Paul Heyman guy? Brock Lesnar, and he split. Sorry, I pipe bomb moment. But yeah, so that's it's and he did reference the pipe bomb. He said, "I'm the best in the world in this ring, on this microphone, and at commentary." So he did reference his pipe bomb. He did, bring out his greatest hits, right? But the bottom line is, and I know Linda brought it up, he said there was a reason why that line still made it on TV and made it not in the microphone, because it wanted to look like, and it was, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
That was awesome. What a great ending line there.
Yeah.
What a great ending line.
And that is, he has to eat some crow a little bit. So that's where I think we get PG Punk for a while. He has to, like, humble himself and, and show that, hey, I'm a hypocrite. I know, but
You just
I
spent
made
the last
mistakes.
2 years pooping on WWE in in-ring segments and stuff like that. So that's why That's why I'm shocked he's back, because he seemed like he genuinely hated the place. And then after all the stuff that went on there, and I'm not saying he was in the right or wrong. I don't know him personally. I don't know what happened. I wasn't backstage. But as much as if I'm a prospective employer and I see that this dude has just wrecked this other company, there's no chance. There's no chance that I would take the chance on hiring him to do the same thing in my company.
Yeah.
But there's a difference. Vince McMahon has taught Triple H Eric Bischoff had a book called it, but controversy creates cash. And that's why it was a smart business decision at the end of the day for them to do this. And to answer, we had another viewer question and wonder what a brilliant question. Who could Nakamura be referring to in his promo videos? Well, that was revealed the other night on Raw.
Yes.
It's Cody Rhodes.
Yes. Cody Rhodes. Yeah, that's
Getting
Cody
that
Rhodes.
missed. What a great shot of that mist, too.
Also,
Yeah.
they changed the intro music to Raw, and Raw's on Monday night, in case you don't know that either, sir, whoever that was. I hate him so much. I'm sorry.
You really do hate that guy.
I do. I really do.
I still think you're his number one fan on his show. Like,
Well, if I listened to his show, I'd double his normal listen, so he'd have 2 instead of 1. So I'm not going to ever turn it on, though. He has sent me 1,000. Hey, check this out. I interviewed Pascual Diego Delgado, and I'm like, I don't even know who that is. So I've never clicked on one of them.
Diego Del what? Okay.
Another member of the LWO that got kicked out with Santos, I'm sure.
All right. All right. So that's it's we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what CM Punk can do. But here's the thing about CM Punk. You've got so many possibilities. We've got Seth Rollins. We got Roman Reigns. We got Cody Rhodes. We've got
Drew
McIntyre. Right. We've got Jey Uso. Yeah, anybody in the Judgment Day. Goodness gracious. I mean, hey, what if he starts doing something with Rhea and then brings back AJ Lee? Which, by the way, AJ Lee apparently is doing fabulous and sends her regards. So that was a cool moment. I like that he shouted out. I think before he just mentioned, I always mention my wife or whatever, but he could say AJ because it's different. He could call her AJ, in there, but
I would like to see him do something with the Miz. They were
down OVW. Or AJ Styles. AJ Styles.
AJ Styles says he don't ever want to. And I saw somebody comment on that earlier. Like AJ has come out and said, I don't ever want to work with that guy. But if it
AJ's not. When did AJ say that? AJ's not like that.
I don't know. That's what this dude up here said, and I believed him. Maybe I need to stop believing people.
AJ is not. AJ is not that kind of a person. So I'm shocked that AJ Styles said that. Really am. But
let me throw another name out there: Bobby Lashley.
Oh yeah, Bobby Lashley. Yep.
Austin Theory. I'm just thinking of.
Well, but there'd be good matches. But I'm thinking of like LA Knight. I'm thinking of people that he can draw money with, and you can have matches with these other people, but like draw money, serious money, and I think there's 2 nights of WrestleMania. There's 2 main events. Why not give it to CM? Now, granted, they've been giving it to the women or whatever, but why not let CM Punk finally get his WrestleMania main event? He deserves it at this point. Just let him have it. Let him have it.
Dustin says AJ said it on his Twitch a couple of years ago. I didn't hear it. I didn't see it. I just was repeating what Dustin said. But but you're right. There's so many people. I mean, a CM Punk Shinsuke Nakamura match would be straight fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
What about CM Gunther?
Yeah, there's Gunther. Yeah. Logan Paul. I mean, Logan Paul.
I thought of him too when I mentioned Austin Theory. I was thinking of U.S. champions.
Yeah.
What about here in a couple of years when it's CM Punk versus MJF again in WWE?
It'd be a few more years because I don't think MJF is really free agent in 2024. I believe he's re-signed and he's there for a few more years.
Yeah, he re-signed, but I didn't hear how long it was. I just saw that he had re-signed. So I don't.
No, I don't think it's been official. Like still that he's re-signed. I think it's just been a.
I don't think AEW announced it, but like Meltzer and Sean Sapp and them guys did.
They believe
Sapp on the show, Daniel. He's your buddy.
I can do that. I can. Well, we did talk about that actually. We talked about ringside. So yeah, that's all I'll say. Yeah, so it's possible. I can get him on the show. Yeah, I don't see why not. Do any AEW wrestlers have non-complete calls? I'm pretty confident that they do if they get released. Like CM Punk was released, so technically he had one, but it just so happened that Survivor Series worked out to be like, a week ago his non-complete calls ended, or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. But if their contract ends, like for example, Sonny Kiss and was able to work with Impact right away. QT Marshall actually announced that he's resigning from AEW, but he's going to continue he did an extension to the end of the year. So he's going to go to his, but as of January 31st, he would be December 31st, he would be a free agent. So when your contract runs out, you have no complete calls. But when you've been fired or released, which AEW's not only did that to two people, three. Two or three. How many? They fired the one dude that got into like during the movement, during the Me Too movement. They fired the one guy. I forget his name now. And then CM Punk. I think that's the only two releases they've ever done. I think everybody else, their contract has run out. Brian Pillman Jr., his contract ran out, and he goes right to NXT. Jade Cargill contract ended. She came and worked the last day of her contract. The very next day, she signed. I think it was like 2 days later, they announced that she signed with WWE. So it's that's why it doesn't seem like there's a non-complete calls, because Tony, I guess, doesn't like to fire people, which is great. It's good enough to fire, but he doesn't renew contracts, so it's a little different. WWE, when they release, like December 14th is the day that the last set of releases from WWE can go anywhere else, and that's your Dolph Ziggler and Elias and all those guys. So I'm sure we're going to see those guys in it. AEW is going to have some kind of some people jumping, from that release, and we'll see who those guys. We'll see who took it here soon, for sure. So, but anyways, good question, Alan.
Great question.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thanks for listening. I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of our other sponsors real quick. And that is Cornbread Hemp. When you go to cornbreadhemp.com, use promo code ringside, you save 15%, excuse me. And you get some of the best CBD products out there. Cornbreadhemp.com, some of the best sleep. The sleep gummies are amazing. I highly recommend those. Cornbreadhemp.com. Again, promo code ringside, save 50% on that. And we cannot forget Manscaped. That's right. When you go to manscaped.com, you get 20% off and free shipping when you use the promo code referee. Yes, referee, because you have a referee on the show. So why not use that code? Use promo code referee. You save 20%. Some of the best product out there to make yourself all ready for it anytime. You know what I mean? Like you gotta look smooth. You gotta look nice. You gotta look great. Get the Lawnmower 4.0 that comes with the flashlights. You can see those dark places. It's also waterproof, so you can don't make a mess at all when you're using it. Get the Weed Whacker, which is a great nose trimmer and ear trimmer as well. I use that quite often, unfortunately. And the beard trimmer, which is another one I use a lot, and that helps keep my beard nice and trim. It keeps it right in right at the length that I want. That perfect for me. So I love Manscaped. I love my Manscaped, and I know Linda loves Manscaped. I know she's they say it on this. She said it on this podcast before that the product is very good. So so there you go. Hear it from a woman that likes this product. So if you want make your woman happy in your life, get Manscaped at manscaped.com. Use that promo code referee. All right.
Yes, Dan,
There
as
we
you
go.
said, you always want to look good, but you also want to feel good. And I'm talking like a physical feel good and smell good, if you're alluding to what I once mentioned here on the show.
See, it speaks for itself, guys. I don't even have to really talk about it. Like she literally, that's all you need. It's all you need. It's Linda approved.
Thank you.
Linda approved. Linda approved. Yeah.
I'm going to try to segue out of this as fast as possible. This makes me uncomfortable every single week. Wes, our guy Wes, the WB, wants to know who will win the Royal Rumble this year, women's and men's. My guess for that is Jade Cargill wins the women's. For the men's, I'm going Cody Rhodes. I think we see Cody versus Roman again, and we see CM Punk versus. I think CM Punk probably wins Elimination Chamber to give him that big moment at Mania to challenge for Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship. The one that's right behind my head, right there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You have an opinion, Daniel, Linda? Who do y'all think are
I got to think more about that.
You gotta think more. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, I don't like. I think we'll answer that as we get closer to it. I mean, Cody's in the Rumble, but I feel like he doesn't need to win it because he just won it last year and winning it again. But I think that's his only way to Roman unless they come up with some other creative thing. Yeah, I don't.
I think he does go back to back so he can migrate over to SmackDown and face Roman.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'd like to see LA Knight get that shot versus Roman at Mania, get his WrestleMania moment. But I just like if they weren't going to give it to him when they did, they're not going to give it to him at WrestleMania. So I think that's probably Cody's chance to finish the story.
Well, but then you're dealing with the other thing. You're literally dealing with. I mean, now you've got. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be in the Rumble, which. The last match he competed in WWE was the Royal Rumble. So, do they wait all the way and make, the Royal Rumble like the very first match CM Punk's in? Since the last one he did was the Rumble, you know what I mean? Like
kind of like with Edge.
Yeah, like I mean, like you see Punk, he comes out because promos or whatever, but his first match is the Rumble. Like like that's what. Yeah, so that would be my. I don't know. It's interesting. That's definitely interesting. I feel like I need a little more time before I can answer that. I feel like I need to watch a little more. What's going to happen in WWE and what they're doing before I can really truly answer that. And yeah, I feel like that. I don't know.
I was looking at the comments. I think it might have been Ellen just mentioning there's still that cash-in that's going to take place. I know Damian Priest has till Money in the Bank, or is WrestleMania the last?
No, it's Money.
No, it's Money. It's Money in the Bank. It's one complete year. Yeah.
Okay.
Complete year.
Well, that's still something to think about as well.
John Cena was the first one to unsuccessfully. Somebody asked, was it Punk? But no, Punk cashed in both of his successfully. Cena was the first one to unsuccessfully cash in.
Yeah, Cena was the first. Right, he was the first one to unsuccessfully do it, and but since then there's been quite a few. The last person to unsuccessfully do it was last year's winner, Austin Theory. Right? Didn't he unsuccessfully cash it in? Yeah.
And then before him it was Corbin, and before him it was Sandy. I think there's been 5. I can't remember who the other one was, right off the top of my head, but
yeah.
So something else I was gonna. Oh, the Damian Priest unsuccessful cash in. What I believe is it will be one of his Judgment Day members that accidentally causes it, and that will cause the turn on. Like they'll turn on him, and the group won't break up, but they will. Damian Priest will be kicked out of the Judgment Day as a result of the failed cash in. That's my
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jeremy.
No, I was just saying that's just a prediction. It's not a spoiler.
I still feel that briefcase does not have the contract in that. Because remember when JD McDonough came and was, getting his way into Judgment Day, he gave Damian Priest that new purple briefcase. So it was never opened, at least in front of our eyes. And if this does happen, if this is just something that's going to eventually lead to Damian Priest getting kicked out of Judgment Day, I think once you see that he's going to cash it in, but somehow this, for the first time, they're going to open it, right? And there's not going to be a contract in there, and that's where the turn happens, and it's going to be an unsuccessful cash in regardless.
And two that I forgot really quick while I remembered them. Braun Strowman cashed in his at Hell in the Cell, and it ended in a disqualification, so he did not successfully cash in. And then in the Thunderdome, The Miz came to cash in, I believe on Lashley maybe, and he also didn't cash in successfully. So I think those are all of them that have been unsuccessful. But that would be a great plot twist there if there's no contract in there. That'd be awesome. But at the end of the day, I still don't think it's a successful cash in. I think we're seeing, like I said earlier, I think Cody wins the Rumble, and I think CM Punk wins the Elimination Chamber, which normally goes to fill the other spot that's not taken by the Rumble winner, and that those are our two male.
Is there Elimination Chamber this year?
Yeah, it's in Australia.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I see your point there. Interesting. Okay. Well, definitely have to see what happens and what's I don't know. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for sure. It's gonna be good for sure. But guys, appreciate everyone watching and tuning in. If you were doing the video, we're live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter and Facebook, please make sure you subscribe and like us on those platforms. If you're listening to the audio version, please subscribe on that too, as Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play, if that's still a thing. Stitcher, I know it's not anymore. I don't even know. Wherever you find listen to podcasts, we're available. You can follow us all on the social media. Follow us on Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube at Ringside Podcast. Individually on Twitter, and Instagram too. I'm at Daniel Spencer.
I'm at Jeremy_CSZ.
On the Insta at Linda K PWR, on the X at Linda K22, and lovelylindak.com to catch
all your merch. Get your merch. Yeah, Linda's got so much merch
sales
there. I mean, you can always get Eric. I'll shout this out. Eric Cornish is Eric on the air, and Daniel Spencer, Eric Cornish merch is available at shopovw.com or prowrestlingtees.com/Daniel Spencer, prowrestlingtees.com/OVW Eric is where you can get that. Or no, it's the Voice of the Valley. I don't know. It's one of the two. It's either that or prowrestlingtees.com/Voice of the Valley. I think it's Voice of the Valley. But yeah, and then we'll be available at Blizzard Brawl this week. I'm sure Linda will be there for 8x10s and autographs. I'll be there with 8x10s and merchandise and stuff and autographs and pictures, and Eric as well. So come check us out. Come enjoy the show there. Yeah, and that's all I can. Oh, hold on. Look at that. Alan, thank you very much. He's got a ton of compliments on my official t-shirt of Daniel Spencer. So thank you for the support. I appreciate that, Alan. See, I got a fan or two out there that helped me pay my bills.
Well, that's two more than somebody else we know. But I digress.
Alan, don't forget.
Really quick, I want to answer his other question that he had. He said he thought he could have sworn Punk lost his first attempt, but yes, he actually got into trouble. They did that important punt kick, and they had that wonky championship scramble match at that pay-per-view where they decided to punish him by taking the title off of him, and it was very short-lived. So yes, you are correct. So you didn't remember the first part, you got the second part right on the head.
Yeah, so OVW tickets at OVWwrestling.com. Use promo code Ringside, save 20%. And if you do the pay-per-view on that, you can also do that too as well. Don't forget, you can always donate at streamlabs.com/Ringside Podcast. Let's see, anything else I'm missing here?
The OVW events email to get OVW.
OVW information at gmail.com. OVW information at gmail.com. Head that out. Again, shopovw.com and cameo.com for Cameo people. And there you go. And there was something else I was going to say on this show, and I completely forgot. I should write this stuff down, but oh well. I'll remember next time. All right, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, tuning in, for listening. If you're listening to us on the audio version. In the meantime, between time.
Until next time, you can catch us ringside live.
And I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to make the money.
Love it.
See ya.